Did you know that there are more viruses on planet Earth than there are stars in the entire universe? Each of these viruses have their own unique, defining characteristics which differentiate them from one another. However, the vast majority of them are yet to be discovered by humans. What we do know about viruses is that they can be found in humans, other animal species, and plants. Certain ones can even affect several organisms. One of the viruses that infects a variety of animals is monkeypox. What is monkeypox? Well, it is a zoonotic disease, meaning it travels from different animal species to humans, like we talked about before. Typically found in Nigeria and the Democratic Republic of Congo, monkeypox is a member of the orthopox virus genus. Some other viruses in this genus include smallpox and chickenpox, two viruses I'm sure you know a bit more about. Since they are all included in the same virus family, it might be a bit perplexing to find out there is another virus similar to those other two very infamous ones, and yet you most likely haven't heard about it. Why is that? To understand it better, let's go into some of the history surrounding monkeypox. Monkeypox was first discovered in monkeys in 1958 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. However, according to recent findings, there is evidence that suggests monkeypox has been found in squirrels as far back as 1899, much earlier than the first reported case. Despite this recent discovery, the virus is still called monkeypox, from what was previously believed to be the first case in 1958. In 1970, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the first human case of monkeypox was detected in a 9-year-old boy. Since then, 9 other countries in Africa have faced monkeypox outbreaks. One notable outbreak is currently happening in Nigeria. It began in 2017 and has continued into the present day. This outbreak so far has consisted of 466 suspected cases and 8 deaths. Today, the most monkeypox cases are identified in the Democratic Republic of Congo, with 2,780 cases and 72 deaths in 2021 alone. Now that we understand the history of monkeypox, you might be wondering how this virus is contracted. The monkeypox virus is commonly spread through respiratory droplets, inhalation of the virus, open skin abrasions, the eye, or through the ingestion of infected animal tissue from hunting. Studies have determined that from the outbreaks previously stated, 72 to 78.1% of monkeypox cases have been contracted from contact with wild animals. Aside from zoonotic contact, the virus can be transmitted in similar ways to that of smallpox and chickenpox. This circles back around to the question of why is monkeypox not as recognized as the other members of its genus family? To better understand the similarities and differences between the 3 viruses, here is a direct comparison that describes their connection to each other as well as their individual characteristics. As you can see, monkeypox, chickenpox, and smallpox all have their own unique traits, but they also have their similarities linking them to one another. The death rates of each virus vary, with smallpox having the highest, chickenpox having the lowest, and monkeypox being somewhere in between. Another difference is that monkeypox is predominantly found in Western and Central Africa, whereas smallpox and chickenpox can be found in different parts of the world, and they are also found to be more contagious than monkeypox. As for similarities, all 3 viruses have similar symptoms, which can make differentiation somewhat complicated. A similarity between monkeypox and smallpox is that they both use the same vaccine for prevention against the 2 viruses. In comparison, chickenpox has its own vaccine and has a unique complication with the virus, which is the possibility of contracting shingles later in life. The last characteristic to acknowledge is that as a result of the World Health Assembly's efforts, smallpox was eradicated in 1980, whereas monkeypox and chickenpox are continuing to infect individuals in the present day. Interestingly enough, because smallpox and chickenpox have had more recognition, it was assumed that monkeypox evolved from one of these 2 viruses. However, because monkeypox was present in 1899, which was before the U.S. smallpox outbreak, a group of global health researchers theorized that monkeypox could have very possibly been the strain from which the other viruses stemmed from. Now that we have established a strong foundational understanding of the virus, I am sure you are wondering how the virus can actually affect an individual. Infections have been found in rodents such as mice, rats, rabbits, and squirrels, as well as primates such as monkeys, apes, and humans. In humans, the virus most often infects individuals that are 50 years old or younger. As shown on the previous Venn diagram, the common symptoms associated with the virus often start with fever, muscle aches, headaches, exhaustion, swollen lymph nodes, and chills. Then, after a few days, the symptoms progress into a more severe fever and a rash that spreads throughout the body, typically starting with the face. Lesions then begin to form where the rash was found, which then progresses into pustules, which eventually fall off and become scabs. If this video has demonstrated anything, it is that no one wants to contract the monkeypox virus. So, the question remains, how can we prevent it? Aside from remaining distance from animals, humans and non-human who have contracted the virus, the main source of prevention as of right now is vaccination. According to the CDC, the smallpox vaccine is at least 85% effective against monkeypox due to the fact that the two viruses are closely related. Although the smallpox vaccine is effective today, it wasn't always that way. Due to major outbreaks of smallpox all around the world, scientists were rushing to create a vaccine. The first generation of the vaccine contained several adverse side effects, including pericardial inflammation and severe infection at the injection site. The second generation had very little progress compared to the first. It wasn't until the third generation that the side effects became minimized and the efficacy increased. Understanding the prevention techniques against this virus is important, but what if you contract the virus? Unfortunately, there is very little that can be done when one tests positive for monkeypox. For some, they are able to isolate themselves at home and avoid any human or animal contact. Others, however, may require medical in-hospital treatments in which they are contained in a small, negative air pressure room as shown above to minimize risk of exposure to others. Due to a lack of funding in certain regions, many rooms are not as advanced as the one previously shown, as oftentimes they can look more like this. It is often that as a people, we disregard things happening around the world as long as it is not an imminent threat to us. Even if you do not live in the places that monkeypox is most prevalent, this does not mean that you are immune and that an outbreak in your area cannot occur. For example, there have been cases in places like the United States, the United Kingdom, and Singapore. Just recently, in July and November of 2021, there were 2 recorded cases of monkeypox in the United States. This reinforces the importance of understanding this virus as well as others that are not as well known. The more research that goes into understanding these viruses can give insight into preventing further harm to all species. Along with research, awareness is a key factor when discussing viruses. By educating yourself and those around you, we can bring attention to viruses both big and small in hopes of one day minimizing the effect they have on society.